Good morning, Rochester ALC, and welcome to another edition of C103 News. I'm Denaria, and this is Vanessa.
Hey, Denaria, can you believe this is already the third week of C103 News?
I know, right? It's already October 3rd, which reminds me, Vanessa, have you heard of the haunted hallways?
No, what's that?
Well, let's take a look at our lead story, and I'll tell you all about it.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Got a question for you. What is the haunted hallways?
All schools get together and compete something about haunted hallways. You just decorate it.
Oh, yeah? When does it start?
I don't know.
Well, who volunteers for it?
I don't know. People in our school.
What is it about?
Haunted hallways.
What's it for?
Halloween.
Why? Well, fine. I'll go ask Mr. Molly. Hi, Mr. Molly. Can you please tell us a little bit about haunted hallways?
Sure. Haunted Hallways is a huge fundraiser for the Rochester Public School Foundation. It starts October 23rd, 24th, and 25th. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And what it is, it's an event that's set up for kindergarten kids, preschool kids, all the way up through high school students. And the money is raised, it goes to the foundation, which is then in turn goes back to all the schools that participate, and also for teachers and grants that teachers can submit to be used in the classroom. So all the money that we raise goes back to the schools.
How much money do you think on average, is earned a year?
Well, this is our third year. The previous 2 years we were at downtown, and this year we weren't able to go downtown to the Kaler. So we're actually using Golden Hill, the old Golden Hill building, which is sitting empty right now, and we're going to be using it that way. So last year we made, after expenses and everything, right around $48,000, which is a lot of money that can help fund all the schools that participate, gets a cut of that, as well as other grants for the year. So it is kind of crucial that we have a huge turnout for these events, because that's kind of how we operate. That's kind of our major fundraiser for the whole year.
Mr. Molly, I heard there's 3 different levels of haunted hallways. Would you mind explaining what those are?
Sure. We can't have scary stuff for the little kids. So we have 3 different halls. One's called the Hall of Fun, and actually our kids from the ALC will be working in that area this year, and it's for little kids. They usually come dressed up as ghosts or goblins or something, or they dress up when they come with their parents. And it's usually set up for games and little games, and they get trinkets and things like that. So it's very non-threatening, very, not scary. It's not ghoulish or anybody with arms cut off and blood squirting out or anything like that. So then we also have kind of a middle level. It's called a Hall of Haunts, which is more for late elementary, probably up towards middle school. And then, of course, the Hall of Haunts, or Hall of Terrors, that's for our high school kids, which is typically put on by more of the high school groups that do that. And that's a little more blood and guts kind of scary. And so when you get your ticket, which is $5, by the way, we can get a little bit of a discount for our kids here, and you can purchase those through me. It's $5, $7 at the door. You can go through all 3 halls. You don't have to, but naturally the little kids typically just go through the one hall.
All right.
Will each individual class or section of the haunted hallways, will they be split up differently for the 3 sections?
Right. The Hall of Fun is kind of, if you remember going into the Golden Hill building, so you go to the left where the high school classes used to be. That's really the Hall of Fun. And then you go to the right when you come in, the main doors. That's kind of a combo of the medium scary and the very scary. So it is separate. So really the little kids can't mistakenly wander down the scary. It's very separate. Okay. So for that. We're also going to have food served in the gym, and there'll be some music, and there'll be some other things there too. So it is kind of an event. We're also thinking of having an activity outside. I think we're working with a company that's going to do paintball, and you can purchase tickets and shoot at targets and things like that. So it's going to be a number of other things going on, not just walking through the halls at Golden Hill, but there'll be some other things also in the gym and outside too.
What is appropriate to wear for haunted hallways?
Well, there are some kids that just kind of wear what you guys wear. They're just going through, they don't dress up. There are some people that do dress up, that wear outfits, but for the most part, most of the people, the little kids usually dress up, I would have to say. Most of the kids that are older, they're just there to go through the halls. They don't necessarily wear their garb and dress up. Now, needless to say, the people who are working, and we do have students that, we have a group of kids in the ALC that'll be working in their area, they are expected to kind of dress up and play the role or part, kind of whatever their theme is, because each school kind of has a theme that they do. So if they're Martians then the people who are working are kind of dressed up looking like Martians. So it kind of depends on the theme and, how people dress. But typically people walking through, you do not have to dress up. You don't have to put on makeup or anything like that.
Okay.
And I know last year we were able to pay each school $1,000 that went to each school. So if there was a group from Mayo High School that was there, they got $1,000. We're hoping that maybe we can increase that this year. So our group from ALC, we're hoping that we can cut a nice check to ALC for at least $1,000, maybe more. So each group then gets that money, and I know it's going to our art department here, since we are short of money and we're looking to try to purchase more things for our art classes. So that's what the money's going to be kind of earmarked for the ALC.
Well, thank you, Mr. Molly.
You're welcome. Like I said, if you have any interest in getting tickets, you can contact me. We've got some weeks before the event. It's $5 for a ticket, $7 at the door.
Thank you, Mr. Molly, for the amazing information on haunted hallways, but you were wrong. It's not on the 23rd. It starts on the 24th. Back to C103.
With all these holidays coming up, everyone is going to be eating a lot of sweets and treats.
You know what that means? More calories.
Oh, I know. I guess that means more time running on the treadmill.
Not necessarily. One of our team did a story on a fun way to stay active. Check it out.
Last week we had the Fuel Up to Play 60 to have students get active and eat healthier. Let's see if that worked.
Hey, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Sheree.
And I'm going to be interviewing her about Fuel It Up to Play 60. So has Fuel It Up to Play 60 encouraged you on being more active?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I was already active, so it kind of like boosted a little bit.
And what sorts of things do you do to be active?
I go running on the weekends, and I box Monday through Thursday.
Okay, well, thanks for your time.
Thanks.
How has Fuel It Up to Play 60 encouraged you guys on being more active?
Healthy food, exercise, play basketball, soccer. Me, I've been active a lot. Been boxing for years, so always stay active and fuel up, I guess. It helps me actually eat more healthy and stuff like that.
Okay. Would you guys consider yourselves to be physically active?
Yeah.
What sorts of things do you guys do to be active?
Not be lazy. That's a heck of a way. Me, I box, doing it for years, and do MMA now. I just got into that for 5 years.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay, so from what you've seen, we do have some people getting pretty active. So get up and move.
Thanks, guys, for those great ways to get active. Remember, 60 minutes a day will help you be healthier in the long run.
Now let's switch gears. So here's Mr. Zbart with Z60.
Good morning and welcome to another Z60. Two topics today that I'd like to talk about. Number one is, and I think everybody kind of picked up on this, is we had all kinds of new chairs out in the hall. Chairs with wheels, chairs that spun around. But we took those chairs out of the hall because our students couldn't quite handle it. One day I was in the Panopticon room with about 8 principals from the school district and saw 3 students rolling down the hall on those things, using those chairs as skateboards, scooters, rollerblades. So that's why those chairs are gone. Maybe they'll come back sometime in the future when I think our students can handle it. The other thing I want to talk about is bringing lunch or ordering lunch from outside, particularly places like Domino's. You know, I don't care where you get your lunch from, but you have a 30-minute window in order to eat your lunch, just like everybody else around here. If you're going to be ordering, you need to place the order earlier so that the lunch comes at your lunchtime. If lunch comes after, forget it. You might as well tell those people to keep it. And don't blame the company, because Domino's, they're just doing their job. It's your job to have your lunch here ready to go. There's several options. You can eat in our cafeteria, you can bring your own lunch, or you can order lunch, but it has to be here on time. Thanks and have a good day.
I know I would like to have those fun chairs back.
Yeah, me too. You know, I've been thinking a lot about last week's Z60 about crossing the highway. If we had a bike path that goes all the way to our building, crossing the highway would no longer be a problem.
You're right, and our news team felt the same way.
Tired of getting rides to school? Well, maybe if we had a bike path, you wouldn't have to get a ride. You can ride your bike. If there was a bike path, would you make use of it?
I would.
And how often would you ride it to school?
Probably use it about once or twice a week.
And if there are some cons to having a bike path, what would they be?
You know, I really can't think of any.
Okay, thank you for your honesty.
Okay, I'm here with Brandon. We're going to ask him about the bike path. So Brandon, if there was a bike path coming out to the school, would you use it?
Of course.
How often would you use it?
Probably about fall, springtime, winter I'd like to ride the bus, but it'd be nice because just the open wind, riding my bike, just cruising by the highway, wind running through my nice long hair. It'd be great.
Yeah. And if there are any cons to it?
The only thing I can really see is that bridge that comes out by Wendy's, getting a path across that. They'd probably have to put a stoplight or something in for us, but otherwise, I don't really see anything bad. They could build it.
Alright, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Alright, we're here with Eden. Eden, about the bike path. Do you think it's a good idea?
Definitely.
Would you use it if they built one onto the school?
Probably. Yeah. Depends on how lazy I am.
Well, how often would you use it?
Every time I'm late.
Do you see any cons to the bike path?
Not really, other than maybe falling off my bike. But
alrighty, well, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Well, maybe having a bike path would be more efficient for students. As you see, most students said they will use it.
Hopefully this will happen for us sooner rather than later.
Yeah, now on to Lois's life tips.
Good morning, students and staff. It's another segment of Life Tips. As you notice, the board behind me says, who is it that you want to be? This year, we're going to be teaming up for character. What are some of those character traits that we might consider or think about? Here they are: trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. Team up for character. We're going to be challenging you, hopefully empowering you and inspiring to take a look at your own personal modeling, to take a look at challenging your peers, to make good decisions that are going to reap benefits. So for now, team up for character and consider.
Thanks, Lois.
If you guys would like some more advice, we have a new feature to present to you. You can submit an anonymous question to the Dear Rosie Dropbox in Ms. Baethke's room, and our advice columnist will answer it. You can then look for your answer on the C103 news blog.
Sounds awesome. Well, that's it for this week's edition of C103 News.
Be sure to tune in next week for another episode. Until then, have a great week.